What is up, YouTube? Welcome back to Nerd Media. And Invincible Season 3 has just released its finale. There is so much to discuss because this show seriously nailed it on the mark with this Season 3. Season 3, this is some of the best superhero comic book stuff that we've ever gotten. So in this video, I'm going to be reviewing the season as a whole, and I'm going to be talking a little bit about the finale and some of my highlights, but man, we have to dive right into it because there's so much to discuss. So with all that being said, guys, don't forget to like and subscribe. Comment down below what you thought of Invincible's finale and overall what you think of Season 3, and let's dive into that video. First things first, man, I just have to say, Invincible is on a generational run. They've had 3 of the best episodes of the series come out in a row in the past 2 weeks, and I have never seen a TV show do that before. And to me, that is just insane because the Powerplex episode is probably my 3rd or 4th favorite episode of the series. The Invincible War episode is probably my 5th or 6th favorite episode of the series, and then the Conquest fight is definitely in my top 3. And the fact that we managed to get all of these episodes in a row and have them all come out in my top 10 is like crazy to me. I've never seen a TV show be able to do something like that before, and it makes sense. I mean, this episode is one of 2 episodes of all time to be rated 10 out of 10 on IMDb. I think it may change, but right now it just stands with Invincible and Breaking Bad, which I gotta say both of those shows deserve it. And just this finale was so good. I mean, the Conquest fight was brutal. It was so good. Line for line comic book shit that I just loved so much. The lines were so good. It was so brutal, and it was so eventful and so impactful, and I really think that they just nailed it on the head with that fight, and it did not disappoint whatsoever. Because this has been teased not just for comic book fans for a long time, but this has been teased since season 2 for pretty much everybody, and it has been just such a crazy ride. And the fact that we got here to this fight is amazing to me, and the fact that we're able to witness this show in real time right now is amazing to me. I mean, this is just absolutely amazing, and I love this finale so much. Now, I still am going to be somebody who says that season 1's finale was a little bit better, and I think that one was more impactful, but that's not to shy away from how awesome this one was. And the whole Adam Eve stuff with like her dying and then her coming back to life, I personally am so happy that they gave her some time to actually be able to hold her own and fight him, unlike in the comics where she just gets killed immediately. I love when this show changes things up in the comics because not everything in the comics is like perfect or done well, and they usually take those mistakes and fix them up in this show. And I am just so happy that they did something like that because they really get to show her power set there, and I feel like hardly ever get to see her actually get into a fight. It was great, and I loved that. And the brutality that Steven Yeun brings with his voice acting was so good. I mean, his line delivery on every single line and every single like cry for help and just cry in general was so good. And speaking of crying, that moment where he is calling out to Cecil for help, to me that feels so like such a powerful moment considering the conflict that these two have been through in this season. And I thought that was just so great and so well done, and I really have loved the themes that they have presented in this season, and it is just great. I'm going to dive more into the themes a little bit later and how that kind of comes full circle by the end of the season, but man, this whole episode and the emotions that it brought was so well done. I mean, the whole Adam Eve scene was great. The Rex funeral was just so great. And the moment that really just made me cry, this was the first Invincible episode that actually was able to make me cry, is when Debbie comes in and she basically blames herself for everything that has ever happened to Mark, and with her marrying Nolan and everything. I think that is such an impactful moment that I'm so glad that they did, because that is so just powerful, I think, and that is just great, and I love that. And scenes like that is why I love this show so much. This show really knows how to find a way to give you what you want with the action, and then hand you some really great and conflicting emotional moments that you really just are blown away by how they could even think of stuff like this. And I am personally just very happy about it. Definitely the most emotional Invincible episode we've gotten, right in front of the Powerplex episode. So good, so emotional, so action packed. It was just crazy. And also, guys, I'm not gonna lie, after this season, I think Cecil is definitely in my top 3 or even top 2 favorite Invincible characters of all time. He's the GOAT. He's great. And I still don't know who I side with more, Cecil or Mark. That is part of how great the themes and conflicts are in this season. But I really love how we dived into his backstory this season, got to know the character a little bit more, and just really kind of feel for him. And I just loved that. And this season made me absolutely love this character so much. And I just cannot wait to see more of him and where he goes. And maybe we'll see more of his backstory in the future. That would be awesome. And I have to say, I think this fight was so much more brutal and more kind of not really breathtaking, but more like impactful for the world around them than it was for the fight with him and Omni Man. I mean, am I wrong on that? Like, I really, really feel like this fight had more consequences to it rather than that fight. And I think that really just shows that how impactful the things can get from the Omni-Man thing, which we think is like the craziest thing of all time. Then we get Conquest, and it's just non-stop. I mean, we kick off the episode with the fight, and it doesn't end for like 20 straight minutes, which I think is insane. And side note, during that fight, the animation has never looked better for Invincible. The animation looked fantastic in this episode. And everybody who is talking about the animation, I said this in the last video that I did for my episode 7 review, where I thought the animation was great in that one. It was phenomenal here. And if anybody still complains about the animation, you just clearly did not watch the same show that I did, because the animation, while yes, it can feel a little bit strange sometimes and like it could probably be a little bit better, I don't have a problem with it. And I was just treated so much with the animation the past 2 episodes, and I freaking loved it. And I thought that the animation during the Conquest fight is some of the best of the show. I mean, there's just so many great moments there. Yeah, I mean, overall, this season was so great. This is by far, I think, the most impactful, most heavy, most dark, and most emotional season that we've gotten for Invincible. Season 2 is probably my least favorite of all of them. Season 3, I think it's really debatable between season 1. Season 1 was so fantastic to me, and I saw that season before I decided to step into the comics. That was the show that season really made me want to read the comics, and that season is just fantastic to me. And so is this one, which is why I feel like it's kind of a tie when we're trying to rank the seasons, because this one, so heavy, so emotional, so action-packed, and it had by far the best themes and kind of tones for the show that we've had so far. And I'm just blown away by the writing, blown away by the animation, the storytelling, and how everything is done so well in this show. And season 3 is by far, I think, in so many ways, the best season. But I'm still not 100% sure. I may make a video ranking all 3 seasons, but we're going to have to wait and see on that, because season 3 was outstanding. I loved it, and I really, really enjoyed every single second of this. It gave us some of the most impactful, most emotional stories we've gotten with Powerplex, Conquest. We get the Invincible War. We got so much. We got the Mark and Cecil conflict, which presented, I think, one of the best themes and kind of arguments in any kind of superhero project. It was so, so good, and this season will always be remembered as probably one of Invincible's best, and I'm always going to be grateful that we get to experience this in real time right now, because this is just, I loved it. And talking more about the themes from this season, I think that the theme of second chances and you can be the guy who saves people or you can be the guy who saves the world, those two kind of themes I think are done so, so well. And the whole Mark and Cecil conflict, I think, is some of the most well done writing that we've seen in a superhero TV show, and maybe even of all time, because I think that is such a compelling argument where you really, really don't know who you side with more. I genuinely don't know who I side with more on that argument, Cecil or Mark. A part of me, most of me really wants to say Cecil, but then a part of me is also siding with Mark, especially after this finale where they do really keep Conquest and he is somehow alive. And, he does escape later down the line, but, that conflict with Mark and Cecil is so brilliant and well done. And the element of You can be the guy, you can be the hero, you can be the guy who saves the world. I really love how that came full circle in the finale where Mark says he won't hesitate to kill anybody, which is him finally kind of realizing that Cecil's right. Cecil, you have to kill them if you have to. And I think that that is just so, it was so well done. I didn't expect it to be that well done. And during the finale, I didn't really know how they would wrap it up, but they did, and it was great. And I love that that was the final scene of the season. So good, so great. And I kind of love how the second chances theme really kind of shifted with Cecil, because he isn't really giving Conquest a second chance. He's just keeping him to get answers. And Cecil does try to reform villains and everything, but Conquest is not that guy. He is not trying to reform him. And I really do think that while it's probably not a full circle moment for him just yet, I do look kind of like how he's stepping away from kind of the second chances aspect of, reforming villains and everything, and just realizing keep them very, very on low profile and just try to get answers out of them and not try to reform them. I really enjoy that, and I really love how the theme came full circle for both Cecil and Mark. But guys, overall, this season was phenomenal. It was so, so great. Some of the best superhero content we've gotten in the last few years. I really, really enjoyed it, and the fact that we only have to wait hopefully a year for season 4, considering that they said they're going to make seasons yearly, I am so, so happy about that. And Invincible season 4, where's season 4, William? We need it right now, because I am so excited for what is coming, and I need to refresh on what is actually coming for season 4, because if I'm being totally real with you guys, I don't remember a lot of stuff that's going to happen. So I'm going to reread some of the comics, and I'm going to deep dive into it and then do a video about what to expect from season 4. Honestly, guys, I just want to soak in the greatness that was season 3, because it was great, and this is going to go down as probably one of my favorite TV shows of the year this year, and that's already me predetermining it, because we have a lot of great stuff coming this year. We have a lot of great stuff coming this year, especially with television, and it is going to be a heavy competition on what's going to win. I can already tell you right now, Invincible is going to be very high up there, because this season was phenomenal, and I'm going to stop repeating that, because it was just great. It was perfection, I think. There has not been a single bad episode in Invincible season 3, which is crazy, because there were a few meh episodes in season 2, and there were maybe like one episode in season 1 that was kind of okay. There was not a singular bad episode this season. This season knocked it out of the park. It was so good, so dark, so great, so many great messages and themes inside of this as well that I could deep dive into more. It was phenomenal, and I just loved it so much, and the payoff for the fight with Conquest was so well done. And as an Invincible fan, I cannot be happier, because this season knocked it out of the park. But with all that being said, guys, don't forget to like and subscribe. Comment down below what you thought of the Invincible season 3 finale, and overall what you thought of season 3, and what your excitement level is for season 4. Let me know in the comments down below, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.